Hello there. Today we are going to see game of Loek Wely versus Garry Kasparov. Kasparov was having black pieces. He won this game in a very beautiful style. So let's have a view of this game now. The English opening. Yeah, this is normal move order of the English opening. Here Wely played A3, which I think is not a good move, as in opening he should develop his pieces and safety his king and then play pawn commitments. Now he is playing A3, having king in his center, which may be riskier. So I think A3 is his first mistake. So Kasparov played G6. It's a good move with the idea of playing bishop G7 and getting the control of the diagonal, H8 A1 diagonal. And now as he could not be playing bishop C5 or bishop E7, as it's no use. If bishop C5, then D4 would be coming, and as A3 is not a good move, Kasparov is not worried about B4 by playing A5. So he played G6 here, and yeah, D4. This is the other mistake, as king is in center and he is committing pawns. In my point of view, commitment of pawns should be made carefully, as they can reverse the position at any time. Normally bishop G7. Kasparov is stick to his commitment at G6 and Bb2 castles D3. Yeah, here maybe he could play knight F3, I guess. And then if knight F3, then black could go for E4. If Nc5, then if Nc5, then H6, and he will not take the pawn at E4. So Nf3 is not playable in this position. He played D3. Yeah, okay, this is a nice move, no problem. Rook E8. As I said earlier, he is having his king in the center and is committing pawns on coincide with A3, B4. There should be some punishment like Rook E8. The next idea is to play Nd4 or with D5, bishop F5. His pieces would be cooperating and coordinating very well in this position. He played queen C2. Yeah, these three pieces are not doing anything. We can say they are developed, but I think they are waste. After the commitment of A3 and B4, the pieces could not coordinate properly, as they are stick to queen side and cannot develop their pieces, their king side pieces. So here Wely played queen C2. I think he is inviting Nd4. Yeah. Here blacks 1, 2, 3 are placed well. And now when we go for attack, we should develop all the pieces so that it can coordinate with each other, and there is no problem in attacking the king. As if when pieces are not developed, you cannot be playing extra attacking moves or harassing the king. And here Kasparov played d5, so he needs to develop his c8 bishop for by bishop g4 and nd4. Yeah, that's good. And the threat of nd4 here, that's the original threat. Forced is cd5 nd5. Wely took on d5, which I think is not a good move, as queen is also coming to the party, and his g3 pawn is weak, and next idea is to play knight d4. All comes for knight, queen is been coming, then it's good. Here he played nd2. Okay, we don't wanna analyze white's move in this position, as I told a3 before was a wrong commitment. He could not develop his pieces properly. So now white is having a threat on e4. I mean, he can play e4 now. So e4 is his threat. Here black should gain space on the king side and then play good. So he played f5, stopping e4, and a threat of queen f7, bishop e6, followed by nd4. Kasparov is not hurrying for nd4 here, as he will not get anything. Manually played nc3 according to his plan. Here with the threat of bishop e6 and bb3, getting a good square for the bishop. Knight a4 to stop bishop b3, but the single piece is active now, and his king is in center. He cannot castle. Castle here, and his idea is to play nc5, but I think single piece active is not a good idea here. He have to safeguard his king, but instead he is playing na4 and nc5. I don't think so that's a good move. Maybe in this position bishop e2 was a better one, so that he could castle, and it's definitely a plus for black in this position, as black is having a5 or bishop e6 and f4 commitment in his hand, so he could break open the center and has a control in the queen side pieces. But he played na4, and here bishop e6, knight c5, bishop d5. Now he would not play bishop e2, as bishop takes g2, he drops a pawn. Here maybe if e4, then it would be a nastier one. Then nd4, and his king position will be collapsed very soon, so there is no point in playing e4 here. he played b5, a sensible move, so not allowing nd4. But here Kasparov played nd4, it's a good move. This is a timed move, I guess. As here ad4 is forced. He took on d4 with a check, and here bishop e2 is only move, because if king d1, then he can use the pin on the queen by b6, as this knight cannot escape with knight a4 as bb3 and queen traps. And if he plays king d2, then same move like bishop f6, and if king d1, then he could play b6, so there is no problem in that. And bishop e2 is only move here. Yeah, now bishop takes g2. If he moves the rook at g1, then black would play bishop f3 and get a piece. Triplo is again a forced move. Now black is having rook and 2 pawns for 2 minor pieces. Queen d5. Queen is overloaded with the knight on c5 and bishop on e2. Force this rook e1, as if we played rook g1, then rook takes e2. It's clear plus for black, as you would gain 2 pawns here easily. So all our first moves. Rook e5, as he have to improve his worstly placed piece with the threat of doubling the rooks on the e file. First is maybe he could play an nb3 with the idea of grabbing a pawn on the d4, but there is no problem in that, as he could play rook e7, protecting. When you are having a good position or advantage or positional bind on the pieces, you don't want to play over excitedly, and to play over brilliantly. So you just need to be playing normally, productively, so that black's chances will be coming down and he would resign. That's called a strategical crush. If he plays a4, then rook a8. All his pieces are binded and he could not do anything here. So queen b3 is forced here. Queen takes b3, knight takes b3, and rook a8. You would having a doubt like what would black play if knight took on d4. So here black would play normal and quiet move, rook 5 e7, with the threat of playing bishop takes d4. If king moves to d2 for supporting the bishop, then again a quiet and calm move, rook d7. b2 bishops hangs, and he cannot hope for anything here. So king d1 is again forced. All our first moves, king d1 and grabbing a pawn. Now black is having 3 pawns and a rook for double minor pieces. This is a clear win for black. Yeah, bishop f3, a nasty trick. If rook takes b3, then bishop d5 check and grabbing the rook. Yeah, I think this is the only move in this position, as he could not be playing king c2 again. Then maybe rook e5 followed by c5 b5 c4. So bishop f3 is forced. c6, as rook takes b3 could lose a rook with bishop d5 check and bishop into b3. c6 protectively playing. Here a5 with the idea of a4. Yeah, this endgame should be played carefully by black and white also. If he plays rook d5 in this endgame, then it may be a slight unclear position for black, as after nd2 he should be getting back to rook d7 and bb3 check, king f8. He would be playing Nf3. So with the idea of Nc5 and knight x7 or Ne6, he could not move his rook or bishop, as his d4 pawn is hanging. Bishop f6 is forced here, and a4 with the idea of bishop a3 and bishop c5 like that. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Here he took on d4. So naturally black cannot take on b3, as if rook takes b3 then bishop into b3 with check. So there is no point in that. a4, sticking to his commitment. Yeah, this endgame should be studied. All his pawns are isolated and black's pawn are connected. So increasing the space, or maybe pushing the passed pawns. I mean to create the passed pawns with the idea of h5. If black took on d4, then bishop into c6 and b5 a4 will be hanging. So black does not want that, and he played king g5 with the idea of rook h6 and rook s2 to get f2 pawn, so that he could roll his g and f passed pawn, sticking to his commitment. So king e1 is not Wely does not want to sacrifice f2 pawn. He has to create a way for the king, so that it will be easy for Kasparov to push his passed pawn. Here if he plays bishop takes c6, then rook c2. If ne4, then king f4, and he's just hanging his pieces, I guess. If bishop d5, then g2, forced queen. So here king f1. Yeah, this pawn is also rolling. If he took on d5, then a2 will also be stopped. He does not want that, so he played king f4, or maybe he could be playing a2 here. So knight takes a2 and rook takes a2. Yeah, this is a slight plus for black, but it needs to be playing very carefully. He played king f4. It's a good move. Here I played bishop g6. So now he could take on d5, as there is no problem in bishop takes d5. I mean, he could not take with bishop, so knight is the only way. So here king g5, only move bb1 and rook b2. This is also nice move. He do not want to play a2 and sacrificing the bishop. Again play 50 moves. So he is just finishing up here with the rook b2. Yeah, a nice sweet game. So Manuel's mistake arised after 4th a3, which is a very worst commitment, as he did not develop his pieces and he is going for queenside play. I mean queenside commitment, which I think is not suitable for white in this position. Maybe after playing g3, g3, bishop g2 and Nge2 followed by d4, he could play for a3 and b4, but in this position a3 is just disgusting. And after a3, black's pieces were not coordinating properly. He did not develop his pieces and did not castle the king. That's the main problem in this game. So we have learned that pawn commitment should be made carefully, and developing your pieces, safety your king is further important than a pawn commitment. And before going for attack, you should be having you should develop all your pieces so that they can also coordinate with each other and help you in attack. Here play Kasparov by g6. So here Bb2, which is not a nice move, as he has committed a3 b4. He should be sticking to that plan by playing b5 a4. Yeah, he know that it's not possible in this position, and he plays bb2. Yeah, that's what I said. Pawn commitment should be made carefully, and Wely just overlooked that. So here maybe okay, no, not now. Yeah, maybe you want to play a5 here, but I think as you have committed on the king side very much, like g6 and bishop g7, with the next idea of knight d4, rook e8, like that, you should not be committing on the queen side, as a3 b4 is not harmful for black at all. So here a5 is not a good move, as he would gain he would gain some play on the queen side with b5 or b5 followed by c5 and a4, like that stuff. So there is no use in playing a5 here. Instead rook e8. As I said, queen c2, knight c3, bishop b2, not well placed, and his pawns are connected, but not a well position here. So in this game you have learned that pawn commitment should be made carefully. It's true. Okay, thank you. Subscribe, comment, like, and rate.